Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Vapid Uranus in Grand Theft Auto Online. This thing just got released. It's on Southern San Andreas Super Autos for $1,140,000, which is not a terrible price, all things considered, but we're going to find out if the car is worth that price tag in today's video. So, of course, what to buy and what to avoid will be coming out after this, so stay tuned for that, of course. But we're just going to go ahead and fully performance upgrade the vehicle right now. And now we're going to get into the customization, starting off with the front bumper options. So for the front bumper options, there's not like a whole lot of stuff that you can do that's like drastically different. I'd say the craziest options are probably like the rally package or the the rally bumper? The race splitter. I think for today's build, I'm going to go for the Resto Mod rally bumper. I kind of like the look of that, so we'll go for that. For the rear bumper, we got some rally pins. We got a bunch of different stuff we can do here. I think that I'm going to go for the Resto Mod Mark II diffuser, because I kind of like the wings on the sides, so we'll go for that. For the exhaust, we have a few different options here. I think I want to go for a single exit, so I think I'm going to go for the tuner exhaust, which is pretty cool looking. For headlight covers, we have an alternative badge. We have headlight wipers. We also have circular headlight covers or half headlight covers, as well as squinting headlight covers or yellow headlight glass. I kind of like the alternative badge personally. I think that's the one that I'm going to go for today. For the hood, we have a few different options here as well. I think that I like the vented hood with the duct right away, so I'm going to select that. The air intake hood isn't too bad either, and that one's okay, and so is that one. But I think that this hood is probably my favorite, so we'll go with that one. Xenon for the lights. For the neon kit, I will go for one just to lower the center of gravity of the car a little bit. For the livery of the vehicle, let's actually just go and quickly change the color to a silver so we can see this a little bit better. We have the white body stripe, we got the double body stripe, the Laws Speed detailing, or the alternate of that, which is in black. We have the Retro Rally, the Atomic Racing, the Team Zero, the Pisswasser Touring, the Chapal Rally Team, or the Redwood Racing, and that's it, unfortunately. I do like the Chapal Rally Team, so I think I'm going to go for that one today. I think that's a pretty cool looking livery, so we'll do that. For the mirrors, we got the stock mirrors secondary. We got a few different options here. I'm going to go with just the stock. I really like how it looks, so we'll keep that. As far as the mud flaps go, I think I'm going to leave them off because I don't really like how they cut through this bumper right here, so I'm just going to leave them off the car. We will go for the yellow on black plate though, and for the color of the vehicle, might honestly end up going with a white just because I feel like it's going to match up really nicely. However, we could go for something a little bit different, maybe some form of a green, maybe a gasoline green. Actually, I don't think that's too bad looking, so we'll go for that. And then for the secondary color, this does the seat stitching and the roll cage. So I think I'll just go for the same thing, gasoline green for both, I think. Why not? For the roll cage, we could go for a different one. I think I will go for maybe the padded roll, or maybe I should just go for the half cage. I think we'll do that instead. Roof accessories, we got the aerials, we got a few different things. We got some louvers we can put on. I kind of like the louvers. I'm going to go for the painted louvers to start with. I think that's pretty clean. For the spoiler, we got a lip spoiler. We got a Mark II lip spoiler. We have the low level spoiler. We have the Laws Speed spoiler, which is cool. And we have that with the lip. We also have the Laws Speed spoiler with the double there, which is pretty cool looking, and with the lip spoiler as well. I kind of actually really like this, oddly enough, so I'm gonna go for it. It's kind of ugly, some of you may not like it, but I'm gonna go for it. Competition suspension as well. And for the wheels, deep flake reverse are okay on this thing. I don't know, actually, maybe I should go for something more like tuner category, like maybe endos on this would look good. I feel like endos on this thing would match up really nicely. Let's go for the endo V2 dish, and we'll do those in maybe stone silver. I feel like that's okay looking. And then we will do the bulletproof tires, and we'll tint the windows. We'll just do a light smoke today, I think. I'm just not 100% sure if I'm set on this color. I feel like it would look better in like a white. I really do feel like it would look better in a white. Maybe we should go for a white. Maybe we should just remove this livery, actually, as a matter of fact. Like, I don't know. I like it, but like, I just don't think it's that clean. And then maybe we could go for something more like a blue, like the Cosworth in real life. Mariner blue, kind of clean. Saxon blue, maybe Saxon blue. I kind of like that. And then for the secondary color, maybe we'll go for a black instead of the gasoline green that we have it in currently. See, I feel like that's a lot better looking. Let's go with that. We're gonna take this thing outside. Now it's time for a sound test and a full review on the car as well. So let's go ahead and just pull up a little bit here, and we'll go ahead and listen to this thing. Honestly, it doesn't sound too bad at all, really. I'm actually kind of liking how it sounds. I'm definitely liking how it looks as well. So now, really, the only thing to determine is if the car is actually good in the corners and performance-wise and everything like that. Now, it is rear-wheel drive, I can tell you that right off the bat, because the launch is pretty terrible. It could be a lot worse, though. There's definitely cars like the Hellfire and stuff like that that have a much worse launch than this thing does. But I would have to assume that this thing is going to be a lot better in the corners than the Hellfire and muscle cars and all those vehicles are going to be. This thing's in the sports classic category as well, which is kind of surprising to me. I wouldn't have expected that, but it does make sense. So I guess I'm happy to see it, I would say. Let's see how this thing does in the corners. It feels pretty flat through the corner. Like, it's not bad. Pretty stable, everything like that so far. I guess we'll have to see. Maybe a little bit of understeer. Not like a terrible amount, definitely manageable. Maybe a slight bit of understeer though, or maybe not even. I don't know. I'll have to just drive it a little bit more to actually determine that, but it definitely takes damage pretty easily, that's for sure. It definitely does have a slight understeer bias to it, I would say. It's not really wanting to let the rear end come around on it, and it's definitely not turning as well as it should be. So I would say that this thing does have a slight understeer issue, which, depending on how you like your cars to drive, that might be a bit of a deal breaker for you. But for the most part, it feels pretty tolerable and pretty manageable, honestly. Like, it's not too bad. It does seem to be going through the corners quite well. It takes them, you know, decently. I have to just keep driving it a little bit to see really how it's feeling. It's weird because when you are just like in perfect contact with the road, it's like kind of understeery, but then if you lose it, it gets oversteer like crazy, like so fast, which is pretty interesting. I don't think this thing is going to be like the fastest sports classic car ever. I definitely don't think it's going to beat the Grotti Turismo Classic, or the Cheetah Classic for that matter, but I do think it will be within like the top 10 maybe, somewhere in that neighborhood, because it is a fairly decent feeling car. At least in my opinion right now. So I do think it is going to be somewhat decent. I think for the price tag, it's a good car. It's still overpriced, don't get me wrong, but I think for the money, I think it's not that bad of a scam, you know, really. I think it's, I don't know, it feels pretty capable. It's just a matter of really driving it for yourself, I feel like, to see if you actually like the car or not. The understeer is definitely the biggest takeaway that I'm kind of feeling from the car right now, but it's not happening on every corner, so I'm wondering if it's not actually that much of an issue. It feels pretty good. The car feels pretty planted through these corners, I gotta say. And maybe it's only understeer for the first sort of initial turn in, if that makes sense, because the understeer does sort of feel like it goes away, and it actually does tend to oversteer a little bit more towards the apex of the corner, I guess it would be. So it's really not feeling too bad. I'm actually kind of digging how the car is feeling. So, I mean, I would say for the money, you should probably pick one up just to see how it is. If you have garage space and if you have extra money. Obviously there's things discounted this week with the new update week that you should probably be buying before you buy this thing, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad car by any stretch. So that is pretty good. Glad to see that this thing isn't a complete pile of shit. That is cool. Anyway, guys, I think that's pretty much it for the Vapid Uranus customization and review in GTA Online. If you guys enjoyed the video or if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike. Consider subscribing to my channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Till then, take care. Peace.